Hello everyone! While everyone is sitting at home and dreaming of going on a trip, we want to tell you about the best countries to live in at the moment. There are many different countries where everyone would like to visit. Still, it's unlikely to stay there to live due to several features within the state. So how do you know which country is best to live in, and which is just a temporary place to live and work? Portal Numbeo.com conducted a study that included many different criteria for which was able to name the best countries for permanent residence. Austria. It can be not the most apparent option. Still, the country has a stable economy and good internal infrastructure for permanent life. The cost of living index in this country is quite high, but wages in the country are also much higher than in many other countries. It's quite easy to move and get citizenship, especially if you are a highly qualified specialist in one of the most popular areas: medicine, science, IT. The Netherlands. Another European country is at the top of the rating of the best states for permanent living. Citizens who live in the land of tulips and bicycles, which is what many tourists call this country, consider themselves happy. The unemployment rate in this country is less than 3% of the total working age population, while the rest work honestly for the benefit of their families and the nation. The reason for this is that the Netherlands has a very well-developed automobile, textile, chemical industry, agriculture, and metallurgy. That's why migrants can work in various enterprises and factories. The vast advantages also include regular good weather, low crime, and substantial social obligations of the state to its citizens. Australia. The first non-European country in our top is Australia. Many tourists arriving in the resort town called the home of kangaroos almost a paradise on earth. But the country is not only comfortable for visiting tourists to rest, but also to live. Many attribute this to a competitive tax system, environmental legislation, high salaries, and top-level medicine. There are many ways to move to Australia for permanent residence. One of them is a competition in which you need to score 60 points out of 100 and speak English at a level not lower than B2. Besides, you need to fill in the data about your family and work and expect the result that may well be positive. The best cities to live in are Gold Coast, Wollongong, Adelaide, Sydney, and Cairns. Finland. In this country, which has been visited by many residents of St. Petersburg, is considered quite comfortable to live due to the many advantages. One of them is developed and working legislation, cleanliness, and environmental friendliness. And it's also essential that this country borders with Russia, which makes it much easier to immigrate, but it's quite challenging to get a residence permit. Switzerland. Switzerland has long been in various top lists of prosperous countries to live in. Many pensioners collect all their savings and move to this small country to live in their pleasure. But meanwhile, you may have noticed that Switzerland has a relatively high cost of living index. But few people know that it's not just high, but the highest in the world. No one claimed that living in your pleasure will be cheap. So of course, you'll have to pay a reasonable price. Also in this country, the average life expectancy is quite high. It's 83.6 years. This is the third place in the world. Denmark. Who would have thought that Denmark would come the winner? Low unemployment and crime level, developed agriculture and education. What else do people need for a comfortable life? But everything is so good mainly for the locals, because to get Danish citizenship, you need to live with a residence permit for 7 years and know the Danish language well. In Denmark, the average salary is very high, which contributes to the ability of citizens to get everything necessary for a comfortable life. Thank you for watching. What country would you like to visit?